My name is Kimberly Knighton, and I am going to talk with you about Just Like Home Child Care Center for Piedmont Hospital in Atlanta, Georgia. I will explain a little bit about myself. I am a longtime and still current employee that has worked in multiple different departments from sterile supply, labor and delivery, and now as a business analyst in Piedmont Corporate. I am well aware of how the operations work here, as well as been a part of a lot of changes that has happened and how they treat their employees. So when I first started 10 years ago, I got pregnant with my first son and I did not have a driver's license, and I still don't. I have 4 kids now. And so when I first was choosing my child care provider, me and my husband were very limited in the choices we could choose. And this was due to the location, the pricing that we wanted, and the hours that we would need for someone to watch my children. At the time, I was working day shift from 10 a.m. till 10 p.m., so it was a long time during the day, and it was hard to find a child care center that was going to be flexible with those hours. And so our best benefit was to have an at-home babysitter. We ended up having kids fairly quickly. We had 3 kids under the age of 4, and so we were paying an at-home babysitter over $800 every 2 weeks. And that was absolutely fine for us because we were being provided the care that we needed for them, except I was not very excited about the lack of structured setting that a child care center could provide. And this is in relation to social interaction with other children. This is in relation to having a structured routine every day, and also being provided modern technology and different methods of teaching for today's pre-K and kindergarten curriculum preparation, which is again absolutely pertinent, being that today there are a lot more technology-based teaching methods for children. And so I really was not necessarily unhappy, but I was definitely looking for something else in my own circumstances, and that is what has made me be inspired to create this service for the employees of Piedmont Hospital. It is about balancing life and work circumstances, especially when you have children and you still want them to be provided that wonderful and safe care. So Just Like Home Center is exactly as it sounds. It is a safe, quality child care center that is adjacent to the hospital and is just for the employees. It is open full-time and part-time, as well as drop-in services for any employee, whether they're PRN, part-time, or full-time. We will also have field trips provided. There's outdoor playgrounds. There is modern technology in every method of teaching, and that is to include tablets, computers, and other electronic teaching methods that you may or may not have heard of. And this is supposed to facilitate the optimal ways that we can develop our children in those early stages, which is very important to us. So JLH Center is something that will have an open door policy. Employees will be able to come at any time during their shift and meet with their baby, see their baby, and it is a payroll deducted service. So I am very, very passionate about this service for Piedmont Hospital. I think it'll bring an amazing benefit for the employees, and I think it'll actually increase retention as well as add revenue for the hospital. So the target employees for this particular center is really single and dual family homes that work full time and maybe have limited family members that would be able to watch children on a daily basis. And I'm seeing that more often when I did my primary research for this particular service, that a lot of the customers, they would have younger parents that would be the grandparents of their children, but because they're still working full time or they're traveling or doing other things, they still needed a child-based center. So another potential problem that customers that I have discovered when doing the primary research for this service is that the commute time in Atlanta, Georgia is extremely heavy. The traffic is one of the heaviest in the nation. So I know in particular with some of the employees that I've known before, they travel anywhere from a good 20 minutes to 45 minutes outside of Atlanta to get to Piedmont Hospital. So I am absolutely certain that having a child-based center right next to the hospital would be a big factor in bringing your child to our center and again bringing that revenue that we're projecting. So I definitely think it is an absolute need that should be done for the hospital, and I think that the employees would absolutely love it. And the primary research does show that most of the employees, whether they had children or not, still think that it is an absolute service that would be beneficial to everyone, including the hospital, the community, and the employees themselves. So the mission for JLH Center is to provide a safe, quality, nurturing environment for the employees and their children, and balancing the life and work circumstances. JLH's passion is to balance those two circumstances in today's modern world. It is very hard to commute from your home to a daycare center to drop your child off and then go. So I wanted to change my attire while I talked a little bit more about the competition, the operations, and the finances of the business. Our business, JLH Center, will be open from 6:30 a.m. until 8 o'clock p.m. Initially, it would have been 7:30. However, we did receive some feedback from the potential customers saying that sometimes their shift may run a little bit over. So we wanted to cater to that need and have it open and to have ample time for you to come and get your children. We have an open door policy where you can come and eat and see your child at any time, or you may not call at all. It's totally up to the parents. We like to foster those relationships with the children and the employees of the hospital. That way you can have more interaction. We will have meals provided, breakfast, snack, and lunch. We will have an outdoor playground. We will have nice modern technology and very bright, innovative design structures for the facility. And here are a couple of pictures of that here because I wanted you guys to really get an idea of how interactive this facility will be for our potential customers and their families. So I'm very excited about this. I definitely think that it is an absolute need. We will have full-time, part-time, and PRN packaging, meaning your child can come 5 days a week up to 40 hours or more, or you can have your child come only a couple days a week where you've been part-time enrollee. Now, we did receive much feedback from the nighttime employees of the hospital to where they felt like they were not going to be able to utilize that need unless the center was open overnight. So what we came up with was having a service where PRN staffed personnel would be willing to do some nurse sitting, and they'll be willing to travel within a 15-mile radius to an employee's home and be able to do 6 to 12 hours of sitting. And again, that would be for an additional fee, but it's definitely an excellent service for the nighttime employees if you would need it. So I'll get a little bit into the financials, which is a very important aspect of the business plan. We are asking for $2 million from a credible investor. That will be in exchange for 35% ownership into the company, along with myself and Piedmont Hospital. This will procure the actual building, the Sheffield building that's shown here, and it will have the renovation done as well as the marketing services for this building and the employees. So that $2 million will definitely go a long way. We are going to have an 83% return on assets. We are expecting over $3 million in cash flows by year 5, and we plan on breaking even within the first month of year 2. So it's very good numbers for a company, especially one that's joining with the company as prestigious as Piedmont. So I'm very, very excited about that. As of right now, our net preset value is a little over $7 million. So I think that that's definitely a profitable business, and it's definitely one that's, again, going to increase that retention for the employees and also gain additional revenue and profit for the growth of Piedmont. So I'm very excited about it. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the competition because at first I was a little worrisome doing the primary research because there is a plethora of child care centers here in Atlanta, Georgia. However, when we did the competitive assessment and all the other factors that were weighed in, we determined that we definitely are going to beat out the competition in 3 main factors, and that's location, quality of service and education, and pricing. We did not include other hospitals that were going to cater to the other employees of their hospital because it's not necessarily a direct competition, being that our potential customers cannot go to those centers. So we did include some other local centers that were highly rated that was very close to Piedmont Hospital. One is Peachtree Childtown. They were very highly rated. However, they are not having a part-time enrollment package, which can discourage some parents if you don't need full-time enrollment for your child, and it's very costly. I think it was almost $1,400 a month, which is definitely a couple $100 more than our full-time package. There is another, Bright Horizons, and Bright Horizons, they're again very, very highly rated. However, they're located in an extremely busy train station, and here in Atlanta, that can actually deter you because that traffic in and out time during the school hours can be very, very lengthy, and it can add to your commute time, which again can be a factor in why you want to come to our center instead of another local competitor. So I'm very excited about this service. I'll talk to you about our team that's going to staff the operations. I myself am the general manager of this center, and I hold an MHA and an MBA, and I have over 10 years experience as an employee of the hospital. I'm very well aware of the zoning requirements and the state policies for child care centers, and as well as I conducted all the primary research. I am very, very passionate about the need for this for the employees, so I definitely know that my education and my experience will bring that qualification to be a general manager. The CEO and executive director will be Nina Balke. She has 15 years experience with not-for-profit organizations as well as the focus for child care centers, so I know that her experience will be a little bit more focused for the structuring and the implementation and the successful launch of the center. So I'm more confident in her being the executive director and me assisting with the operational procedures at the facility, but I'm very confident in her skills to be a part of be an asset, a part of our team. Our assistant manager is Angela Andrews. She's shown here. She is also a 10-year employee and one of my very best friends, and she has an associate's in early childhood development, and she is pursuing her bachelor's in early childhood development, and she as well is very, very passionate, and she does not have children. However, she does work with a lot of youth, and I know that she is very passionate about having a structured setting in those early developmental stages for children. Our director of education, we decided to go with a little bit of a more lengthy interview process, so that is yet to be determined. We have about 2 panelists in the works. However, we're looking for at least 15 years experience with implementation and actual launches of child care centers. That way that you have experience in building and developing the education programs for our center, which is something that we definitely want to be a part of. So that will probably be determined at a later date. Our advisory board has members along with myself and the team that I've just discussed, and we also have Tevin J. Roberts. They are part of the Head Start programs for the state of Georgia. They're an advocate for the child care centers, and they definitely want more child care centers in the community, so I'm absolutely certain that they'll give a lot of great advice and a lot of good feedback of how to structure and launch this service for JLH Center. Tanya Thomas, she is the pre-K director for the DeKalb County of Georgia, and I reached out to her because that's the county I live in. However, she does work with other neighboring counties in a collaborative effort, but she has the passion and the skills in order to also be a great asset to our team. So I'm really confident. I'm excited about our team. I know that we're going to bring a lot of experience and a lot of nurturing qualities and characteristics to the team that we train, and I'm very confident in them being the forefront for JLH Center and how we foster the relationships during the first years of this service. So I just wanted to reiterate my passion and need for this service for Piedmont Hospital. I will probably retire from this institution. I believe in this company, and I think that having this sort of service will show the employees how much that you actually really care for them too. It's an excellent benefit to bring new employees in, as well as keep the keep the current employees that we do have, and bring in additional revenue. I think it sets the hospital apart from others within the area, and I really, really think that it will foster some new relationships in the community, and I think that we will definitely beat out some competition, have some competitive edge whenever we launch this service for Piedmont Hospital. I hope that you enjoyed watching this video, and I hope that you believe in this service and think that it will be, or know that it would be just as successful as it sounds. Thank you very much.